I was a little teary-eyed when BM said, "Card is back, JSF is back." I've always said that pop girls don't go wrong, musically, when they culturally appropriate South Asian music. Unfortunately, the song I liked the least upon first listen was the single. I want more idols to lead by example and really show us what it looks like to pursue health instead of thinness. Hey y'all, my name is Ada Grace, and you're listening to my podcast, Black Girl Talks Pop, where I talk about pop culture and all the hits and misses in between. This episode continues my series Hacks and Reviews, which would normally be on Patreon. However, due to my current schedule, I have decided to shut down my Patreon and bring my thoughts here to you instead. Thank you so much for committing to checking out my content. Your comments have meant the world to me, and if you want to support me, send whatever you feel like to my PayPal, which is linked in the link tree below. All previously paywalled content can be found on my formerly Patreon playlist on YouTube. Speaking of playlists, I've decided to make a playlist for my now free Hacks and Reviewed episodes, which I use to share my favorite releases by second, third, and sometimes fourth generation K-pop acts. The first video will be this one, in which I'll share what I listened to from the second quarter of 2022. We've got one single album by Yerin Baek, formerly of JYP Entertainment, a mini album from Girls' Generation's Hyoyeon and Card. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I've linked all the tier lists that I use. If you make your own rankings, share them with me by tagging me or using the hashtag BlackGirlTalksPop. My handle and hashtag are spelled BLK Girl Talks Pop. That's BLK Girl Talks Pop with no spaces, of course. I'm also in the process of updating my Spotify playlist, and you can find them in all of my handles at the link tree in the description below. With that, let's jump into the episode.
Now we shall make a stop for K-pop. At this time, I'll discuss what's bringing me up and what's bringing me down in my favorite music genre. This is based on my own opinion, so any crime is alleged and your feelings about your faves may not be protected. Shall we? Let's begin.
I don't know much about Yerin Baek besides the fact that she's a member of 15and. I've heard rumors that she was unhappy at JYPE for a while and wasn't willing to do the smoozing that her bandmate Yubin Park often engaged in. However, she didn't have to. As she's pale and thin, she didn't have to beg JYPE to release music for her. Instead, she had been releasing music pretty consistently since 2015. I think that's what always turned me off from her. I felt like Jimin led with star power and personality and was never given her due, whereas Yerin just got a fan base by existing. I know that assessment is unfair, but her thin privilege embittered me towards her. I know that she's a great singer, and I'm sure her fans understand and appreciate her reserved personality. It seems like JYPE was the villain all along, because 15and only had 2 albums ever, and both Jimin Park and Yerin Baek left the company around the same time. I hope that aspiring singers are paying attention to the fact that JYPE, along with YGE, has very few female solo artists. Get the vocal lessons and go to SME. You may just have a career. Maybe. On May 24th, 2022, Yerin released a single album called Pisces, which I'm guessing is her sign. I love it already because it has 3 songs and no instrumental, even though I would have loved an instrumental track for the first song. With that said, let's talk through this album. Actually, before we do that, let's learn more about Pisceans. All I know is that they're water signs, so they're very emotional, according to Cosmopolitan. They're very whimsical too. They have a very spiritual and imaginative view of the world, and they'll often express that through their creativity. I couldn't read this article without thinking of the Wonder Girls. I wonder if they're also water signs. It seems like second-gen JYPE girls were all these mystical weirdos that just wanted to dance over the moon and feel everything. It's no surprise that they've all gone on to have solo work with a clear point of view. I feel like many of them were the manic pixie dream girls of second-gen. Yerin definitely leans into this magical aura with her album cover. You see her sitting on a beach in a white dress with her hair in this perfectly messy half updo. Her tattoos are clearly visible against her pale skin. She's like a mermaid that's settled by the shore and wants to feel closer to her native land. I love it, and with all that in mind, I'm definitely ready to learn more about her through this album. Unfortunately, the song I liked the least upon first listen was the single Pisces. The good news is it's our only song in the third tier. I wanted to like the track until the keys came in. After the peaceful moment created by It Was Me, the piano playing in Pisces felt like loud clanging for what felt like the longest 30 seconds of my life. It's disappointing because I'm sure that these lyrics are powerful. I have a feeling that Yerin wouldn't have picked this song to be the single otherwise. That's all I have to say about it. On that note, now we're going out to the next tier up. Our first entry in the second tier is the first track of the mini album, It Was Me. This song would be perfect for the end of the John Hughes movie. It's got the up tempo that keeps you invested in the song, but it's not too upbeat that you can't hear your own thoughts. I haven't read the lyrics yet, but it feels very reflective. This is definitely an end-of-year contender for our first annual Black Girl Talks Pop Awards show. I'm really excited about that. But it really stings that there's no MV for this song, though, because I feel like even though it's a song for Pisces, it has a very fall vibe. There's something evergreen about this song that I like. We end the mini album on a thoughtful note with another second-tier song, The Loved One. In what I feel is a power play, Yerin starts this song almost a cappella. In doing so, she allows her voice to set the pace of the song. She is not to be underestimated as a vocalist. I like that the song was a return from the introspective moment we had at the beginning of the album, but this time there's callback to 2000s R&B instead of 80s pop. Overall, I enjoyed it. I feel like I could listen through this album again. I'm not going to give my score because I feel like it didn't change with the lyrics. I felt like the lyrics gave more context to my earlier feelings. Let's leave the music and move on to the lyrics. Time for the lyric look up. Let's start with It Was Me. According to the lyrics that Yerin posted herself, I had already subscribed because I'm going to give Yerin a chance. But now I might have no choice but to stand. Posting lyrics yourself, like who is doing that? Now let's talk about the song. Fangirling moment over, I promise. This song seems to be about Yerin pursuing self-love after previous relationships haven't worked out. I like the part where she discusses chasing after hope when love has been running to her the whole time. I felt like that was a really beautiful way of putting things. She's been searching for outside validation instead of embracing herself. I'm tempted to not buy this song because it's a little too close to home, but it was nice to get a break with the poetry of Pisces. I liked the fish metaphor as Pisces is represented by two fish swimming in opposite directions but held together with the rope. I felt that this song helped me to understand her more. She might be away doing her own thing, but she'll return to the one she loves with the story told in her own unique style. For her, true love is a small flame that continues to burn even when she's far away. She'll be out swimming, trying to figure herself out, but if the love is true, she'll find a way back to it. That seems a little commitment phobic to me, but I'm an earth sign, so I just don't relate to this. Even with that, I don't love the way the keys are being played in this song. The lyrics are beautiful, but I wish the song was arranged differently. It's still a third-tier song to me. Pisces has a very cute but a little problematic music video. In the music video, I believe that it's Yerin, who's a young girl on a camping trip with friends when she meets an alien that only she can see through a special pair of glasses. It seems that her mother also believes in aliens and is also trying to contact them. What makes this music video problematic for me is I'm not sure if this is an age gap romance or not, but if you're a Wes Anderson fan, you might appreciate the quirkiness of the MV. Let me know what you think. Lastly, but it could end up being my favorite track, let's talk about The Loved One. I related to this song in that I felt that parts of my parents' relationship have set me up for failure. I've seen what love can be, so I have higher standards for what I want, and it's hard when my expectations aren't reflected in the dating world. When she says, I am the loved one wherever, I like how she's open to the love that comes her way, but in this more intimate song, it looks like she's asking for her partner to give her the love that she's seen in other areas of her life, but she's willing to accept what she can get for now. That sentiment is definitely a bittersweet way of ending the mini-album. On a positive note, she could be willing to take what she gets now because it's simply in addition to the love that she already has. As she said, I am the loved one, wherever. So she's not looking for complete fulfillment from one person. I like that meaning a lot more, but the song offers a lot to think about. Now we've reached the end of this section, I want to walk you through my final score. This album was fine overall, and I'm definitely interested in following more of Yerin Baek's music. However, I would like to come to her when I'm in a mood to completely feel all of my feelings, and I tend to avoid that, but I do have my emotional artist, so I'm not counting her out. However, I have to start at an 8, as I felt like the songs I liked were missing an extra spark. I felt like they were both top tier material, but I didn't get it, and I expect more of Yerin Baek as she's one of like the best singers from JYP. She was in 15 and I know those girls can sing. And I think with the right team, they can both come up with some really great songs. And I have to admit, I'm bitter about having no music video for It Was Me. Then I'm deducting a full point, which is a sum of a half point taken for Pisces instrumental and another half point taken for Pisces MV. In conclusion, Pisces is 7 out of 10 mermaid photo shoots, which is a good start. Before I start discussing the mini albums, let me correct myself. Yerin Baek's Pisces was a single album, not a mini album. According to my brief research, a mini album is at least 4 songs and Pisces only had 3. Now let's discuss the first mini album. On May 16, 2022, DJ Hyoyeon of Girls' Generation, released her first mini album, Deep. I was excited that after her solo debut 6 years ago, she finally has a larger body of work than a single album. However, this mini album is mostly a collection of her earlier singles that go as far back as 2018. I want to discuss my frustrations with her career, but due to time, let's just jump into this mini album discussion by starting with the 3 new songs. I've always said that pop girls don't go wrong, musically, when they culturally appropriate South Asian music. So our first section is South Asian inspired EDM. However, Badster might be the one exception. I enjoy Deep way more than Badster. I'm sure the music video of Deep will be great as Hyoyeon has dark hair again. She heard us during the dessert comeback and brunette Hyo is back to give us some more. But I didn't really jive with the song upon first listen, so Deep is our first entry in the 3rd tier. Badster was not enjoyable for me. If I'm going to hear EDM, I need more lyrics. Since EDM is just not for me and there was more music than singing, I'm going to be kind and put Badster in the 5th tier. For both songs, I enjoyed hearing Hyoyeon's higher range. She has such an interesting voice. It's husky, but her diction is very clear, so it's like she's hooking you in with each lyric. I look forward to reading the lyrics of the songs I'll discuss later, but the music in this section wasn't my style. The second section of music I'd like to discuss brings us to the 2nd tier. These are my newish favorites. The first is Stupid, which is the last of the original songs for the mini album. I love Stupid the most of this mini album / repackage of singles. Upon first listen, I preferred for Second to be the pre-album single and for Stupid Cute to be the album single. Hyeon has the perfect voice for an age-appropriate cute concept, and I like that for her. I think that would be a good way for her to show off her unique voice while leaning into the feminine beat that I know she kind of craves due to her early packaging in her career. I love seeing artists reinterpret the eras they were active in, and I think that a throwback concept would have been a great way to reintroduce Hyeon to a new generation of K-pop fans and fans of Korean dance crews and companies. The fact that Hyeon still hasn't done a collaboration with 1 Million Dance Studios is ridiculous, but it just shows that no one at SM is seeing what they're missing from not investing in Hyeon properly. I'm glad she likes being a DJ, but she should be promoted as a dancer more. I actually think she should have a career similar to After School's Sohee or the famous dancer / choreographer Bae Jung. So it was surprising that Yuri was actually a judge and dance instructor on a reality show first. But then again, Yuri does have a bit of a warmer personality, so maybe it's the right fit. Maybe everyone's where they need to be. The second song I enjoyed was Sober, which was first released in 2018. After Badster, I found the singing in Sober refreshing. I initially didn't get Sober once I first heard it, but now I'm in a place to enjoy the bittersweetness of the song. The coolness of Hyeon's vocal color is a nice balance against the buoyant EDM and brass, and together the song seems like a nice tune to listen to once you're ready to return to the world after a breakup or any grounding event. I want to know what the song is actually about though, so I'm interested in reading the lyrics. The final section of the first listen will cover some of the previous comebacks that I liked but have yet to fully discuss. Second has been discussed and purchased, so we'll move on. I linked the episode where I spoke about the song in the description below. The second previous episode I'd like to highlight is Punk Right Now, which has been my favorite Hyeon comeback so far. I loved the colorful way she said the English lines like, I am reckless, as well as the joy she displayed in the music video and the dance practice. A professional dancer happily sharing their gift with the world will get me every time. I bought the Korean version of the song as I preferred that one, and I'm curious to learn more about it during the lyric look up. I've also discussed You Know What I Deserve previously, but I didn't do a lyric look up, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I got a return on my investment. For this lyric lookup, we're actually going in order of the track listing. Let's start with a clarification, maybe even a little apology or whatever. I was wrong about Deep for several reasons. In the MV, Hyeon's hair actually appears to be a little blue, like it was for SNSD latest Japanese comeback, Catch Me If You Can. That was a nice callback. She looks good in both hair colors. This MV has translated lyrics for the uninformed viewer, thank you SM. In this song, Hyo promises that the one who might see her as their prey will end up falling for her instead after a night of passion. It's interesting that the verses and chorus have water metaphors in which both Hyo and her romantic partner are sharks circling each other before someone surrenders. It's very sexy, very interesting. I'm intrigued. However, the set of the MV and the outfits worn by Hyeon and her dancers suggest that Hyeon is actually a Black Widow. This points to the fact that Hyo's romantic interest might meet a grisly fate. Her hair becomes black midway through the MV. I love her in the ponytail and the outfit with the horns on her shoulders. At this point, Hyo's role as the villain is even more obvious. Everyone is dressed in black and red, and the sky is dark and hazy. I lost it when I saw Hyeon's black Mr. Krabs glove. At the second chorus, that was crazy. We even see that her eyes are red. Even if you weren't reading the lyrics, you know this isn't a typical love song. I wonder who the blonde dancer is. If she's a choreographer who's getting her due like Casper did during Lay's debut, I enjoyed watching her. She was great. Now the lyrics of the chorus has changed as Hyeon details the death of her former paramour. We see her drag his body, which has been wrapped in her web, across the floor, and then she throws him in a police car. Now the stakes are up a notch. Hyo follows her basic instincts and has no problem killing the cop turned lover. That explains why she described him as a shark. He was investigating her for murder. After seeing this man killed, it's so chilling to hear her sing, "I don't need desire." For her, sex isn't about love. It's a weapon used to disarm her prey. I prefer this comeback's choreography to second. I love the moments in the MV and the choreography where deep is emphasized with the dancer's movement, especially at the final chorus, which felt like a culmination of an epic. I couldn't take my eyes off of Hyoyeon the entire time as we see her command her dancers and dispose of her lover's body. By the time we got to the end and Hyuna is looking at the camera, I almost got chills. The look in her eyes is one of blazing defiance, and you have to agree with her, she cannot be stopped. I agree with all the comments that discussed her growth. This is a long way from mystery, for the better. For the music video alone, this song is a 2. I highly recommend the live performance and the performance version that I linked as well. A choreo moment that got me is when she does that MJ move at the end of the second verse. Even with simple moves, she shows the incredible control she has over her body. She out-ages her dancers every time and adds that extra Hyo stamp, that athleticism, to the more sensual moves to make herself stand out even more. Even if she was wearing the same clothes as the dancers, she would pop off, of course. Hyoyeon is a charismatic performer, but you can tell when she really likes the song, and I'm sure she loves Deep. It's so great to see her in her element. Stupid is definitely a looser 2 now that I've looked at the lyrics. While these lyrics could be inspiring, I think they call back to Hyoyeon's stubborn nature that prevents her from seeing past her own pride sometimes. In the song, she calls haters stupid and rude and says that she refuses to change and that consistency will take her to the top. I do like the twist of her saying that she's stupid. Cute! I also realized that she's saying the word dumb several times in the final chorus, and I wish this referenced Red Velvet's Dum 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 in some way. I do love the harmonies in the song though. What I'm enjoying in the original songs is hearing different aspects of Hyoyeon's voice beyond the mid-range that we usually get. On to dessert. This could be Dionysus' theme song. This song is about excess in every category. I listened to the song again and read the color-coded lyrics, and I was again delighted by the line, "It's lit!" and "I deserve it!" and "some more cake in my hands!" This song was definitely more adult than what I had first interpreted. It's so fun. I took my positive thoughts about Deep and almost squandered them on Badster's MV. I wish that the MV had been 2D like Britney Spears' Break the Ice. It just seems so low rent for someone of Hyoyeon's stature. I didn't enjoy it at all. I wanted to look at it just to see if there was something I was missing, and it ended up taking Badster from a 5th tier song to a 4th tier song that did not need to be on the album at all. Moving on to Punk Right Now, which would have made a good debut song in my opinion. It's just Hyoyeon bragging about herself while showing off her amazing dance skills. My favorite lyric is, "You know I'm busy, look at me." She knows you're gonna stand, so don't even waste time denying her talent. I think she has a fun catalog. There's a song for just about every type of K-pop fan to appreciate. So if you're looking for a solo artist to get into, maybe start it with Hyoyeon. I love the blonde that Hyoyeon has in Sober's color-coded lyrics. I prefer when we can see the roots a little more than a pure blonde look. I think that the mix of brown and blonde brings out her features more. In this song, she's sobered from the high of a relationship. She's up to here, as in so full of frustration and exhaustion from the relationship, that she wants to leave it all behind. However, she fears being alone with the memories and self-loathing she feels from staying in a toxic relationship. I love the way the music picks up near the end, starting with, "I'm full of wounds, don't touch me again, I don't want to hear any more of your false complaints." These lyrics are so powerful and they definitely match the intensity of the instrumentation. And I wish it had been clearer, as I appreciated the harmony there as well. But if they wanted the instrumentation to shine, they accomplished that. This song remains a 2. It's a thoughtful dance music song, and I can support that. I liked the music video, but I was annoyed in the beginning. The music video is rated 19. For what? The idea that Hyoyeon's ex in the MV might be a woman? The images of women that aren't super thin dealing with fat-phobic body standards? They've got a lot of nerve, SM does, to be sensitive about women's bodies and queerness. Where are the trigger warnings for actual inappropriate behavior in the industry, like inappropriate lyrics for younger groups or cultural appropriation? Please. On a positive note, I love the diversity, although I have the same gripe I always do, but not being able to have a still moment of just seeing a black woman's face. They definitely took more time with the white woman in this MV, and it was like the camera was rushing by the black woman to check a box. Her body is beautiful, but it would have felt more humane to take time with her facial expressions, like her whole form, instead of just saying, "Here's a black woman, here's a stomach roll." It was nice that she was curvy as well, but I would have loved if more body types had been included besides hers. My last gripe with the MV also deals with the camera work. This music video should be empowering for women, so I hated the unnecessary butt shots. Let's talk about the other star of the MV. We see Hyoyeon cut her hair while hanging out with friends, so you know the breakup was bad. I loved her second outfit with the black halter top and the skirt, and it was nice seeing her dance in a more flowy contemporary style instead of the usual knife-like hip-hop style she tends to do. Overall, again, the music video was enjoyable, but I really appreciated Hyoyeon's explanation of the song. The music video is about liberating girls who feel trapped and are tired of the norm. I want to express they can get out there, rebel against social norms, and show everyone who they're meant to be. Isn't that message lovely? However, Hyoyeon was on a quote-unquote diet for her comeback dessert, which is why she didn't eat much food during the SNSD reunion on Yuri's cooking show. She was also dieting during the girls' 15th anniversary and complained about being bloated on a music video shoot. Mind you, this woman is tiny in both size and stature. Her earlier statement was nice, but I want more idols to lead by example and really show us what it looks like to pursue health instead of thinness. I don't think I'd play this album all the way through again, but it was nice to revisit Hyo's previous releases and discover her vocal range. I'm giving Deep 7.75 out of 10 Mr. Krabs hands. I'm buying sober, but I'm definitely re-watching the music video for Deep. It's so good. On June 22nd, KARD came back with their 5th mini album, Re, and their comeback, Ring the Alarm. I was so excited to see that the kids are all back together now that J-Seph is out of the army. I screamed when I saw the thumbnail for Ring the Alarm. I enjoyed Bomb Bomb, so I am ready to talk about this mini album. The first song, Breakdown, is just too powerful, so I wish it had been after Ring the Alarm, which in my opinion packed less of a punch. This song kicks in the door. To the second tier, Jiwoo's vocal development has been great to listen to. She's getting more and more comfortable with her raspier lower voice, and I wish that DSP saw how special it is. While I appreciate Sohmin as a vocalist, I felt that Jiwoo was a more natural fit with this song, and her performance matched the track's intense energy. DSP gives Sohmin the main vocal treatment and lets her sing the final chorus. And I felt like that was unnecessary. It should have belonged to Jiwoo. I felt like this could have been Jiwoo's solo, or like Enemy Part 2 with more emphasis on Jiwoo's voice. I appreciate BM's chorus as he also has a unique tone like Jiwoo, but I wish the harmonies were louder to fill out that part of the song because his voice isn't as full as Somin or Jiwoo's. If Somin's services were needed for the last chorus, she could have added some airy flourishes or a higher harmony with Jiwoo. Card tends to have the girls only singing opposite the guys, but I'd love to have the girls harmonize more often or just sing in unison. I think it'd be nice to kind of see how their voices fit together that way. I also want JSF to give us a 3-part harmony with the girls just once. The intro of the single Ring the Alarm made me think that we were going in a different direction. It reminded me of Monsta X's Rush Hour Hour a little bit. I love Somin's flirty vocal performance, and JSF's rap is a highlight. The change in beat is unexpected but fit in perfectly, and of course his flow was flawless. I love Somin and BM singing in the bridge, and I want them to have another song that will actually be on streaming services this time. I also wanted Somin's flirtiness to be captured more in the music video. I wish she had given us more teasing facial expressions and drew us in through her connection with the camera, but we'll talk about the music video a bit later. Okay, I said we talk about the music video later, but here we are again because I watched it before diving into the album. So just a bit of a teaser. I feel that the members aren't having fun until the partner dance in the end, and the major draw of this group for me is the possibility of seeing older idols commanding the stage and having fun performing together. I'm glad they're all together, but I need Card to recapture their magic. Unfortunately, Ring the Alarm was the song I liked the least, but it's the only song in the 3rd tier. Good love is stupid, it's stupid cute, but I'm biased because of the English lyrics. I love Jiwoo's part in the bridge. Her voice is beautiful, and I just want a solo debut at this point. I'm slowly moving from a BM stan to a Biwoo stan. I love that BM is just pulling a Becca from after school and only rapping in English. That's fun. JSF is the only one with Korean lines in this song, and he performs well as always. This is another entry into the 2nd tier. We end the first listen with the last 2nd tier song, Whip, which is my favorite song of the mini album. While I think that the BM parts are a bit underused, I enjoy hearing them sing together in the chorus. The chorus is the highlight and I enjoy it every time. Then there's the snaps in the bridge that accompany Jiwoo's head voice, and I was wondering how this song could get any better, and then here that was fun. I wanted the song to ascend a bit more, but if they're going for a chill vibe over a late night drive, I think they capture that. Spoiler alert, my rating doesn't change, so let's move on to the lyric, Look Up. As one may expect, Breakdown is about a toxic relationship where the partner seems to revel in Card's emotional distress. This seems very similar to Gunshot in theme, though maybe Gunshot could have been applied to internet trolls as well. I enjoy that the boys have their own moment to sing in the chorus. I enjoy BM's singing voice, and I'd love to hear him sing for real more often. I think he kind of relies more on the uniqueness of his voice than like technical ability, so I want to see him challenge himself more in that category. I wish that Somin wasn't the only one providing harmonies, as there are 4 of them. I'm manifesting a 4-part harmony on a live performance, but I enjoy what she does with Breakdown on the second to last chorus. This song remains a 2nd tier song for me. Finally, it is happening to you. You're gonna hear about my thoughts on Ring the Alarm. I forgot I gave this a 3 initially, but I took a lot of notes on the MV and live performances, so I have to share them. In this era, Somin is body rolling for her life, but sometimes she can't keep up with the group. In some moments she looks stiff, but as expected, she did the more feminine moves well, and I think that's just in her comfort zone. I think she needs to work on blending in more so that Card can look like a unit. During Card's hiatus, I wonder if we booked some dancing classes. I would have because you're in a group with professional dancers. She's not the only vocalist in K-pop who needs growth in this area, and it is unfair because in other groups she might have been like a lead dancer. But I encourage her to keep improving. I've always admired Baekhyun for asking Kai to help him become a better dancer, and you could definitely see the fruit of that from Vado onward. I have to say, another person with opportunities for growth, Jiwoo's hair. I don't love Jiwoo's bangs. Bring back my cinnamon rolls forehead. I do love J-Seph's buzz cut, and I hope he keeps it. His scene is the highlight of the MV for me, and he's the guy that pleasantly surprised me the most on this album. It seems like DSP laid out the red carpet for him, which is sweet. Now to my bias. BM, our favorite abolitionist. His clothes budget was $2, but we don't mind. Or do we? Hold that thought. He looked great, and you know he's always trying to show off his gains anyway. Unfortunately, I wonder how appreciated BM is by DSP. He's done so much to make the group relevant in Korea and abroad, but then they give him this Windows XP screen as his background, and I'm rethinking my thoughts about his wardrobe. Meanwhile, the others had actual sets and looks. Like I said, my favorite set and look was J-Seph's. I hate how K-pop companies take foreign idols for granted, and I hope that BM doesn't feel pressured to re-sign. Ideally, he should be able to record and perform with Card and go somewhere where he'll be appreciated. I would be interested to see him as like a stone music artist. Will he be able to turn things around like Sunmi did and really take control of his craft and give us great songs? Back to Card, I love seeing them, but as I mentioned earlier, I didn't really get the sense that they felt relieved and overjoyed to be back as OT4 through their faces or through their chemistry in the Ring the Alarm MV, so that was a bummer. I also watched the performance video, and I don't know, something feels off about this group. I don't think they were truly unified until the end of the song, but their chemistry starts improving when BM and J-Seph dance together on J-Seph's rap verse. I wish they had taken the energy from the dance practice, which was great, and brought it to set. I don't know what BM said or did to Jiwoo, but it was so cute seeing her laugh during the partner dance at the bridge. I love that the 2000s are back. It's so cute seeing K-pop stars wear some of the looks I saw in teen movies and DComs growing up. I love seeing Jiwoo's leather newsboy cap on their live performance on the show. I also noticed that all group members do the same move in the chorus, which I think is awesome that the group as a whole is embracing traditionally girl group and boy group choreography. I also want to circle back to Jiwoo's vocal performance. I think she does a great job in this song. Her voice is very distinct, so it wakes you up and grabs your attention. Then she's followed by Somin's smoother, sweeter tone, which settles you into the song. It's the perfect mix of bold and sweet, so I have to shout out to whoever arranged this song. And I just love them as a duo. Shout out to my bias BM. He treated the show performance like it was Card's concert. I love how he introduces J-Seph and asks the crowd to make some noise. Speaking of the crowd, it was nice to hear Hidden Cards cheering on their faves. Unfortunately, it's through their worst song, Gunshot, but Card is slowly but surely gaining ground in South Korea, and I'm sure that's nice, especially for the members born and raised there, to be recognized in their home country. Finally, I watched their live band performance and I wanted more group interaction. It felt like they were mostly focused on their individual camera time instead of vibing as one unit. Again, they weren't completely in the pocket until the end of the song when they did their choreography, which was unfortunate. In my opinion, the whole point of the band performance should be to show that you don't need choreography to be an interesting performer. You should be able to move around freely and still hold our attention because of your charisma and or vocal talent. I haven't seen a group that can do that yet, and I wish that SNSD had been able to show the kids how it's done. Nevertheless, I was a little teary-eyed when BM said, "Card is back." J-Sef is back. That was sweet. With that said, let's finally review Ring the Alarm's lyrics. This song is obviously about taking a flirtation from the dance floor to a more private setting. I love how the Korean lyrics aren't as obvious in the beginning, and then BM's English lyrics just blow up the entire operation. I have to say, am I the only one questioning the logistics of what BM is saying? Sometimes I think that he just puts AAVE together and doesn't think it through. By the end of the song, it's pretty clear what's going on. However, maybe I've been judging Ring the Alarm too harshly. From a musical standpoint, sure, it's not reaching the peaks of Don't Recall, it's not offering the twist of Dumb Litty, but it does show Card's consistency. So I'm asking you, should it be a 2? Good Love is on the path to a good English song. My apologies for not realizing that everyone was singing in English. As expected, the AAVE was nonsensical. What is Get You's a medal? Other than BM's verses, everyone else's lyrics felt a little clunky. I was about to say that BM should have written the whole song, but then I saw he wrote it with some white man. I think that BM could be a good songwriter if he just leaves Urban Dictionary and Black Twitter out of his writing sessions. About the song lyrics, is BM about to give us a dating announcement? He said it's cuffing season and not just a quickie, so I'll be waiting for the good news. I love J-Sef's flow in the bridge. He rode the beat well and expertly built up to the final chorus. Oh, J-Sef, you've been missed. You did good. This is a cute English song, so it's still a 2. Now let's talk through this. I think that Whip is interesting. I can understand the appeal of solo night drives in general. There's something peaceful about going on the open road and seeing the endless night sky ahead, so I can see how that can be romantic. Anyway, this song is fun. It's a nice surprise hearing J-Sef and BM have their own vocal moments with Somin. J-Sef and Somin sing together in the bridge, and then BM and Somin sing together in the choruses. It was fun hearing the difference between each guy's voice. I wished that J-Sef, anybody, had offered a harmony instead of just singing in unison the whole time, but it's fine. Watch Somin be the only one that knows how to spontaneously harmonize in the group. Somehow, no matter what the group size is, there's always only one member that's technically gifted in this category. Think of your favorite group. Who usually harmonizes on the variety show or in the song? Keep that thought in mind because I'll complain about this on another episode. Back to the song, Jiwoo's voice is beautiful in the bridge. I love hearing her higher range on this album. With that, we literally end this mini album review on a high note. Overall, I enjoyed this mini album and I plan to buy Breakdown. Let's get to the final rating. I rate this mini album 8 out of 10 plastic bag crop tops.
That was today's stop for K-pop. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let's proceed to the next segment.
That's all I have for today. If you're listening to Black Girl Talks Pop, please follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or wherever you're listening. If it's available, please give this podcast a 5-star review so more people can find it, and leave a review or comment to let me know how I'm doing. I'd love to know your thoughts so we can chat, and I want to know how I can continue to grow and give you a better listening experience. If you're enjoying the podcast and want to support my work, you can donate to the podcast through my PayPal. The link is in my link tree in the description below. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, give this video a like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and leave a comment there as well. If you're looking forward to future episodes, I try to drop at least one preview leading up to the episode, so go over there to catch a sneak peek, or have a different experience of the podcast as you'll be able to see my tier rankings and more. All of my previously paywalled content is on my formerly Patreon playlist that's only available on YouTube, so go check it out. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Black Girl Talks Pop. That's BLK Girl Talks Pop, so follow me there. Respond to my post if you want to chat. I also use these platforms to announce and post previews of new episodes, so you don't want to miss out. If you're a fangirl like I am and have a confession, your own secret obsession about anything I've discussed, or you want to introduce me to a K-pop variety show from 2006 or a Christian artist that made one album in 2009, email me at blackgirltalkspop@gmail.com. Because I decided to be my own enemy of progress, this email address is spelled as BLACK girltalkspop@gmail.com. That's BLACK girltalkspop@gmail.com. Check this out. All the boys want my heart. Before I get too lost in my days, let's close this episode with a prayer. Pray for me, y'all, and know that I'm always praying for you and cheering you on. God, I am so thankful that I get to share even more content with the listeners. I pray that whoever listens to this is able to take a respite from their busy lives in any stressful situation and use the recommendations from this episode to find music that brings them happiness and comfort. Lord, release us from comparison. It's so stressful to look to others and only see what you're not doing or where you're not going. Help us to be thankful where we are and be present in each moment. Give us hope for the future so we can move forward in faith without any fear that we won't get the results that we want. Give us the courage to try anyway, give every priority our focus, and lean on you to direct our steps and take care of any obstacle in our way. Help us to let go of our doubt, fear, and shame and fully put our lives in your hands. I send everyone off to have a wonderful week and weekend. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. That's all I have for today. Remember that you're wonderfully and fearfully made, and I'll let you know when I've got something else to say. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!